Okay, so here's one that students tend to run into a little bit of trouble with, interpreting this idea of three consecutive integers. That is, 3 times the largest of 3 consecutive integers is 10 more than the sum of the other 2 integers. Find the 3 integers. What do we mean by consecutive? Consecutive, of course, numbers are numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Consecutive means that they come in order. And when we say integers, we mean whole numbers. So we're going to say, well, there's going to be 3 consecutive integers, 3 integers, one after the other, such that the largest of the 3 consecutive integers. Well, how do we say? We really need a little bit of help with this. How do we say consecutive integers? Well, if there are integers, we will usually start like this. Let x, let's try that again here. I changed my colors. Gosh darn. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. Let x be an integer. So the next question is, well, if x is an integer, what do we mean by the 3 consecutive integers? Well, what integers would come after that? Well, if x is an integer, let's say it's 5, I don't know if that's the answer, then 6 would be that integer, right? And 6 has the effect of being 1 greater than 5, which means that whatever x is, we're just going to simply add 1 to it to get the next integer. Right, so this is our next consecutive integer. Well, what's the next consecutive integer after that? Well, clearly, if we take x plus 1, we have to add 1 more to it. Well, x plus 1 is the same thing as saying x plus 2 is a next integer. So that's the next. Right, so there we go. Those are our 3 consecutive integers. Which one would be the largest? Well, clearly, this guy right here is our largest. Right, this is our largest integer. So if this is our largest integer, this problem says 3 times the largest of the consecutive integers. So how do we say 3 times that largest integer? Well, we're going to multiply it by 3. So that means we're going to take 3 times the largest integer, x plus 2. And we say 3 times the largest of 3 consecutive integers is. The key word is means equals. Okay? So now we see 10 more than. 10 more than. How do we read that? 10 more than. Well, 10 more means that we're taking 10 and adding it to whatever comes next in this description. So 10 more than. 10 more than what? The sum of the other 2 integers. So here are our other 2 integers. Right here we have x is an integer and x plus 1 is the next highest integer. So we have x as our first integer plus, it's a sum, x plus 1. Well, this looks kind of like one of those familiar types of equations that we've been solving all along. So, of course, we start by simplifying. We're going to distribute on the left to get rid of our parentheses. We've got 3x plus 6 over here on the left. On the right, let's combine our like terms. We've got 10 plus x plus 1. Well, 10 plus 1 is 11. And x plus x is 2x. What does that give us? Well, let's see. Let's subtract 2x from both sides. So subtract 2x from the left, subtract 2x from the right. So now we have x plus 6 equals 11. Let's try that again, not pi, that's 11. Somehow my pen tends to leak here on this board, so just bear with. So now let's subtract 6 from both sides and let's get our integer for x. So x looks like it equals 5. Okay, so our integers, if our integers, whatever they are put in order, consecutive integers, 5 is such an integer. X plus 1, so that would be 6, is the next consecutive integer, and 7 seem to be the integers. Just kind of like what I said at the beginning right there. Just wonder how I knew that. All right, well, let's check it out. Does it make sense to say that 3 times the largest of the 3 consecutive integers 3 times the largest of the 3 consecutive integers is equal to 10 more than the sum of the other two. So let's see, plus 5 plus 6. Does that make sense? Well, sure. 3 times 7 is 21, of course. 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 6 is 21. So yeah, that makes sense. Checks out. And so we're done.